Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, welcome. What y'all think about that beat in the beginning? I'm like, hey, hey. But I'm learning and growing and I'm not quite married to any of the processes that I have going on in this first episode. So if things change up, don't be surprised. Also, if you've got any suggestions, like if that beat just goes a little too hard for you, well, no, seriously, let me know. Let me know because I know in the headphones that I listen to when I'm playing back my recording, I had to turn that volume down because that beat was hitting. So, as I briefly stated before, welcome to Living in Color, Real Talk for Black women and women of color. I am your host, Erica Joy Schultz. Um, this is the first episode of the Living in Color podcast. So I am so excited. Um, so excited that I just sat down to do a mic check and just kind of check some of my um, recording equipment and sound based on where my office is and my recording area is. And I just started recording. So here you go. Um, I am going to extend my gratitude for your grace as I grow through this process. I've been told, as well as wanting to start a podcast, I've been told for a long time that I needed to have a podcast. And as a recovering perfectionist, it's always been kind of hard for me to throw stuff out there without really having, the $1,000 budget to get the uh, super professional sound and recording and all that good stuff. So again, thank you through my growth through this because I know that there are going to be some growing pains and a learning curve. Sound will get better, editing will get better. And if you're rocking with me from this first episode, whether you're joining for the first time it dropped or, I've been out for a few months and you're just now catching up with me and you rock with me to the 100th episode, thank you. Again, my name is Erica Joy Schultz. I am 40, I'm sorry, 43. um, I'm a mom. My daughter is soon to be 16 at the time of this recording. Um, I am single and not ready to mingle. So if you want to meet me and you're willing to come to my door or be at my grocery store at the right time, then hey, I could be the one. Um, I do work full time right now, and you know, it is what it is. I will say that the one thing that I am truly grateful about is that I am able to work from home. I know that for some people, COVID really, um, aside from the drastic things that came with COVID, with deaths and health and the shutdowns and all of that. But I know it threw some people for a loop that really thrive on that office environment. And while I can function in an office environment, I don't care for it. Yeah, I am an introvert. And by introvert, I am not saying that as a way of being cool, as I kind of feel like that word is being thrown around nowadays. I'm truly an introvert by definition. I am completely able to function in, um, you know, people settings and I am able to people. I don't particularly care to people for a long time because it is so draining. So draining. So, like I said, I'm one of the things that I'm grateful about is the ability to work from home. Um, I took to it like it was just a the perfect fit. So that's that. Yeah, I am a recovering perfectionist. As I mentioned before, um, I love music, all kinds of music. I'm not going to say except country because I do like some country. I'm particularly fond of, and I spit some beach nut net dude's eye and a country boy can survive. I think that's Hank Williams or Hank Williams Jr. I'm not you know, super versed on that, but I think it's one of them. But I love music, playing, singing, listening, reading, travel. I'm kind of getting into self care, so that's cool. Yeah, I kind of dig that. So, getting into the meat and potatoes of this welcome episode, um, a little bit about why I decided to create Living in Color, Real Talk for Black women and women of color. Um, I wanted to connect with other Black women specifically, um, and women of color. I include women of color because I know that, when you are a Black woman or a woman of color, in other words, not white passing, um, you operate in the world differently. And I wanted to create this podcast to let other Black women and women of color know that we do not live in a void. There are other women just like you who think about, worry, wonder, wonder about, and go through the same things that you do. Um, None of us are a monolith. Black women, Asian women, Middle Eastern women, Latina women, we're not a monolith. We bleed, we cry, we laugh, we struggle, we have anxiety, we have families, suffer with depression. There's all kinds of things. Um, and I wanted to create a space that we can talk about those topics and it's not taboo. Um, I can only speak for Black women in the Black community. I have women of color as friends, but that that culture or those cultures and those upbringings are not my expertise. So when I say this, I'm speaking from the Black perspective. Things like mental health and depression that wasn't um, brought up and discussed and as open as it is for others uh, for us. At least not while I was growing up, and it's still not as represented as it should be. So again, I wanted to create a safe space for us to come together, to laugh, to cry, to learn, and just be in this thing together. I asked and I reached out and I listened. So you can expect topics ranging from anything from family to, like I mentioned, mental health, to self care, finances, travel, um, food. I'm a foodie. Let's share some recipes. I mean, hey, parenting, you know, social issues, personal development, entrepreneurship. I mean, pretty much anything. Um, I am a jack of all trades and master of none. I'm a multi passionate. So this is my creative baby that I hope resonate with other people because I don't have a thing. I don't have a niche. I guess, or niche. Either way, my niche is Black women and women of color. That's my niche, and anything that happens under that umbrella is game here as far as I'm concerned. Um, what I want you, or what I hope that you as my audience, my listeners, my subscribers, I want and hope that you feel heard, understood. Occasionally I'd like to think that you might walk away or hang up an episode feeling inspired. But I do hope at the very minimal, at the very minimum, that it's engaging and relatable to you. Um, and I guess that'll my analytics will show me that, because if it's not engaging and relatable, you guys aren't going to be listening. So, fingers crossed for that. I'm going to do my best. The other thing with establishing living in color is that I want to establish a reach beyond my inner circle. I want to establish that reach, hopefully establish helpful connections and sponsorships for you as my listeners, um, to access and get benefit from. I want to build a community, and ultimately, I'm not going to lie, I want to do this full time. Sitting here in front of this microphone, talking to you, just being real and transparent is filling me with so much peace and satisfaction and purpose that, with your help, I can do this full time. And I hope that my content and what I'm able to bring as far as value is valuable enough to you that it'll allow me to do that. And then everybody wins. So, as far as a welcome episode is concerned, it is, I think, about time for me to wrap up this ramble fest. Here's the good stuff. You can expect new episodes of Living in Color to drop every Saturday. If something changes, of course, I'll be sure to do my best and let you guys know. I like to try and keep my commitments. You also have the ability to follow me on Instagram at official.livingincolor. I'm just starting that page, so go ahead and give me a follow, and you can keep up with me there. I do have an open door policy for communication, so you can leave voice messages here on Anchor if you're listening through Anchor. Of course, you can reach me by email at voiceoverbyerika, and that's ERIKA @gmail.com. Email me anytime. I welcome feedback, suggestions, and just overall, just want to say hey. I'll say hey back. What's to come? I am working on a website to host the podcast, and have a little blog there as well. So that will be coming soon. Also, more ways to listen, which should include Spotify, Apple, Apple Music, here, of course, on Anchor, and other platforms. You can also do me a solid And if you're ready to rock with me on this journey and you want to hang and talk and um, just be a part of the Living in Color community, go ahead and subscribe. And if you know other Black women and or women of color who would enjoy being a part of the Living in Color community, feel free to share. I definitely appreciate it. I extend my gratitude. But that'll do it for today for this welcome episode. I am so excited to get this thing going. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk soon.